Hi, welcome back to the Mindful Movements with Monique. Today I'm going to talk all about the low back, what's going on there. I'll give you a few stretches, some movements you can do, obviously, because we want to move that spine, right? That's the point of this show and my work here, teaching you how to move the pain out of the body, release it. Okay, so I'm going to show you some movements. I'm of course going to give you some oils that you can use because you know that that's always so dear to my heart. And lastly, I will include that emotional disconnect, which is my favorite part and the true heart of the mind body healing work that I teach people. So when we look at what's going on in the tissue, we think that we may have hurt ourselves or had an accident or triggered some kind of trauma or hurt something in our body, right? We bent over funny. I threw my back out. I did this thing. I kinked it. I twisted it, whatever, right? We give these phrases, but the truth is we can't really throw our backs out. And the truth is a lot of those things that are normal wear and tear on the body don't actually cause pain, yet we feel it, right? And this is why I always say, if you suffer with pain and it's been around for longer than 3 months and you can't get rid of it, you must throw out everything you've been taught about it. As crazy as that sounds, the brain has attached to a certain way of trying to heal. And if I'm trying, it's not working. Okay, so we're just going to start there. So I'm going to stand up in a moment. I'm going to show you a couple little maneuvers that I like to do for low back. And so enjoy. We're going to move through some body work here. Okay, so I'm on the ground and I'm going to show you a couple moves here because I like the floor for support as to move my body. So first I'm going to show you something. We're going to start with the hips because the hips are going to tie into the low back where the attachment is in the hips, the sacrum is in the hips, all those things. And if you go back, I probably posted a video in the last few weeks talking about the sacrum or the hips. And if I can find it, I'll go ahead and attach it in here so it'll play right after. And so you can kind of link these two together and move with them together. But I'm going to lay down on the back first, and I'm going to show you something to do with the hips. It's a diaphragm that is right here across the hip, okay? And we want to make sure that that is open and circulating so that we have the energy movement through the body, right? So that the pain isn't getting trapped in the lower body. There's basically 3 diaphragms in the body. There is one in the throat right here, right? So there's one between the head and the heart, a space to separate, to give us a moment, right? There's another one between the heart and the solar plexus, right? So the solar plexus chakra is kind of in this space. The heart is here. So we have another diaphragm here right under the rib cage. I've done some work around there in the breath one a couple weeks back as well. So that one's really nice. The third diaphragm is going to be at the hips right here. And it's right across the top right here, right in this low belly, right? We digest life, right? We drop in, right? And so if you look at the body in a energetic space, you have the mind, the body, right? And then the root, the grounding, the knowing, right? You could also look at it as like mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul, however you want to see it. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not putting all those labels on, but however you need to see it as this, these are 3 different spaces on the body. We want them to flow energetically. So we want to open up all that space so that we have that energy moving through, okay? So now that I've given you a little information, I'm going to lay down. I'm going to show you the diaphragm on the hips, what I like to do there. I'm going to show you a couple moves there for the low back, and then we'll move along. So find your way to the ground or wherever you want to lay, right? And okay, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of looking here. The hip sockets, this is really hard to see with it all black on. Here is my hip socket right here, right? Like, so here's the hip socket, right? So here's my leg going up and down. That's the socket right there. This is the front of the pelvis, I guess, is what it would be considered, right? And so inside here, we can go in and we can do psoas work. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with psoas work, don't dig in here because you're gonna maybe bother yourself, right? But the psoas is right here, and so there's a muscle. That muscle goes all the way into the low back. So when I push here, if I dig in far enough, I can feel it all the way in my spine, right? So it's pretty intense. So it's a big deal. It's a big muscle. It does a lot of stuff. It holds a lot of emotion, a lot of story there. So if you take each side of that and you push it in, pulling it towards the middle, pulling it towards the navel, I'm just pushing in with my hands, okay? And I might hold it like this for a few seconds. It feels really nice. If you want to go even further with it, you can take your knees. Let me scoot back. Knees together. So the knees are together. The feet are flat on the ground. Hips are pulling in. And doing this automatically, your low back shifts, your pelvis shifts, your sacrum shifts. We want to have this in the proper rotation. It's a big deal to have this tucked in, right? So knees are together. Sacrum is flat on the ground. Hips push together and just hold it. Sending a few breaths. If you've never done this before, you may experience some very strange sensations in this area. It's completely normal. This holds a lot of tension, especially in women, okay? Just know that it's normal. This is a tribal space, especially in females, and it may feel very odd and you may get some weird sensations. Allow your body to just feel this energy moving through, okay? So just knees together, holding the hip sockets, or the, not the sockets, dang it, the crest up here, the top of that bone, pulling it together. Just taking a few breaths there. That's going to be really nice. Another thing you can do is a figure 4, okay? Ankle over the leg, not on top of the knee, not pushing from here. We're going to go as far down as we can. And then hands behind the leg, pulling in. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm first opening up this hip a little bit, again, because all of these muscles attach into here, which attaches into here, which goes into all this, okay? So you have attachments coming in, all of this. So if this is tight, this will be tight, okay? So just come in here, find your spot, pull in, what feels right for you. If this is too much, do knees together. Do not force your body to go into things. Don't do it. You can always do a rock side to side, like this feels really nice to the nervous system, the belly. Knowing that I'm pushing in this way, I'm also moving my digestion, okay? I also did a digestion video a few weeks back. So many videos on here, Monique, gosh. Just giving you all the goods of how to heal your body, right? So you can just rock side to side like this. It feels really nice. It's opening that back, right? I've already moved the diaphragm. I've worked a little bit on the tightness in here. You could roll your knees even if this feels nice. This, your weight on your body against the ground, is such an amazing tool to just move that tissue, right? As I do this, I feel all in here starting to open up as well. I feel it going up my back. It's really nice. Maybe go the other direction, because anything we do on one side, we do on the other. That's my rule, so that we're not wonky and lopsided, right? Okay, back to center after a few times, and just check in. Just check in. Maybe even legs up the wall, right? Just holding the legs up, letting the energy drain into the hips, bringing blood, moving it through the body, right? Maybe you hold your arms up as well. Just letting the circulation come through. Feels really nice, right? Obviously, do the other side this way if you did the first leg. And this one actually feels a little tight, so I might stay here for a moment. There's no right or wrong. If you can learn to trust your body and just listen and feel, it's so magical. So magical. So just stay here for a few moments, letting that other hip socket open up, that IT band, whatever's going on there, right? Okay, so we did this, we did this, we did the diaphragm, we did these together. These are really, really simple and easy things for anybody, no matter what shape you're in, no matter what you have going on in your life, right? Just those few little moves. Another one that I really like is just a twist, just a side to side. So just put it up from the crown. You can put your hand behind you for support if you need to. Chin goes out. We're not rubbernecking, we're not pulling, we're the spine, it's just the spine. It's not anything else, it's just the spine. So I'm just wringing out like a washcloth. Just turning. And I come back to center. And I might kind of check in and go, one side feels a little bit more pliable than the other, right? And so just go the other way. Chin out, chest turned, shoulders turned, waist as forward as it can be. We're turning from the hips, rotating low back, stretching it out. So good. You can always just go forward. Just give yourself a bend. Forward fold. Letting that line of energy come all the way through, keeping the sits bones rooted in the earth. Maybe you even put your hands up to surrender or take in any energy from the sky, from source. Maybe you put your hands down if you need to pull in the earth's strength, the structure, the stability, right? Depending on where you are, what do you need in your life? So many options. This is not a one size fits all. We will customize everything for you. Perfect. It's perfect for you. Okay, so the back should be feeling a little bit more open. You could always just do something like a forward fold if you just need to bend and get some stretching or some length, right? Same thing here. You can just put the legs forward and just let the weight of your body pull in. Again, you're going to feel from the IT band, the hip sockets, the low back, you're going to feel all that. And so it's just letting it be, pulling tall from the crown, just letting the weight of your body slowly come down. It's so, so nice. Just melt into this. Each breath, just letting a little more go, creating a little more space in the body. And coming back up to a neutral position. All right, how's your back feel now? Right, a little more space, a little more movement, a little more energy, a little more circulation in the spine, right? A little more freedom, openness. Those were such simple stretches, such simple moves. The physical body does need some love and attention. It needs to move, right? But now I'm going to bring you into the other side, my favorite part. The oils that I like to work with on low back stuff specifically are AromaTouch. And if you've worked with me, especially in person, you've likely had an AromaTouch by me. It's a very specific technique that I was trained in with doTERRA called AromaTouch technique, and it's just magical. And if you have the chance to ever have one of these in person, whether with me or with another trained professional, I highly recommend it. It is a beautiful treatment and it's great for the nervous system. And so I just love AromaTouch. And if you're interested in learning more about this, I will have a live event here coming up soon on my property at the rental cabin. And so really excited about that. And so, yeah, if you're local and you want to come hang out and do this stuff and learn about this, definitely let's connect because it's so amazing. I could talk about oils all day. They're so good. It was such a huge part of my transition from Western medicine into something more holistic and natural. And so being able to live more in that holistic natural space for me has been great for me. I know it's not for everyone, and I don't necessarily push it on everyone. But again, if you're interested in learning more about that, I've been on this journey for a very long time now. And so I have a ton of just techniques and tools that I can help you with in that space as well. If you're just interested in learning more about holistic pain relief, which ties right into mind body, which is what I teach. So anywho, aroma touch, one of my favorite. Just the smell of it is so amazing, and it assists the body with calming and relaxing, and is available to release tension and help move emotions as well. And so the things that I do all tie together, and they are for purpose. So anything that I talk about is very important to me. It's very meaningful, and it actually aids in mind body connection, mind body work. But the low back, the emotions, this was so fascinating because I used to struggle with low back pain for a long time. I had low back, hip, and sacral problems, and frozen shoulder as well, and jaw and neck. And so I would spend a lot of time on the chiropractor's tables with the electrodes, the stimulators, the ice packs, getting adjusted, getting acupuncture, doing stretches. I was a dancer, and so I did a lot of stretching. I did a lot of movement, and it didn't matter how much I did these things. The pain never really went away. It felt better minimally. I could put the ice packs or the heat packs on it. I could do the pain patches, right? The lidocaine, all those things. They're really great temporarily for a short time, but I wasn't ever getting to this space where it was really taking the pain away, right? And so it would just kind of mask it for a little bit. I had great pain meds. I had Oxycontin. I had, so many different tramadol, different pain medicine to help with regulating the pain. But why was the pain in my back so intense, And from a very young age, like the first time I saw a chiropractor, I believe I was probably 15 years old. I had an injury and I started going in to see him. And then I was in several wrecks. I had a lot of trauma. So I had a lot of structural problems, and I was doing all the things, and I wasn't getting the release. I was getting little bouts of relief with an F, where the pain would subside some, or again, the medicine would block that nerve to where it didn't fire so much. And so I didn't feel it, even if it was going on. But I wanted to go all the way to stopping it, like really getting it, grabbing it, being done with it, right? And so this is what I learned. Low back pain triggers when we feel insecure about how you will support yourself financially. This is a huge, huge thing for me. I came from a very, very scarcity environment is the easiest way to describe it, just fear of not having enough. And this was not only generational, but it was ancestral, like it's in our bloodline, and it was societal, and it was generational, like the age that I am, like the people that are my age, a lot of them probably had similar situations. And societal, like the area that I grew up in, the part of Louisiana, there's a lot of poverty there. And so financial security is a big thing for humans. Like, we need money to survive, right? And so you can see how when you hold stories like this, and they're so real, that part of your body may be what's holding it, right? And so the low back, constantly worrying about survival and how I'm going to pay the bills, holding on to unresolved anger from childhood, feeling like a victim or struggling, suffering, controlling, focused on limitations and negativity and why you can't have the things that you want. I remember really being in that space, like wanting more, desiring a better life, desiring something outside of what I had seen and known. And there was something that always stopped me, like, how can you do that? Who do you think you are? Don't get too big for your britches. Don't grow too much. Don't change too much. You won't fit in, right? All of that story is held right there in that low back space. And that low back is support and structure. And so when all of these emotional things are going on, the physical body is holding the story there. And so if you have low back problems, This was the most amazing thing to work through for me. I've had some pretty awesome stories with my health and the things that I've self-healed. And the spine was one of the most crazy ones for me because I actually have vertebrae that are still out of alignment. I actually have multiple vertebrae that were moved, slip discs, things like that. But they don't cause pain. And so there is a way out of the pain cycle, and it is my specialty. And I'm happy to invite you into my world. My consultations are completely complimentary. This YouTube channel is here just for you for free resources. So like it, subscribe to it, send your friends to it. If you know that this work would help somebody that you love or care about, invite them in. My Facebook is public. Let's be friends. Let's connect. My Instagram is public. Let's be friends. Let's connect. Let's help heal all of this pain. Let's stop this generational patterning. We don't have to keep doing this. We don't have to pass this down in our bloodline anymore. We can stop it. And it is such a big mission of mine to help people learn to self-heal. And so if you've been doing all the things and you have this knowledge and you know what I'm talking about, you know this work, but you can't do it, you haven't gotten to the space to where you're able to, this is precisely what I help people do, embody this work. And so let's connect. Let's do a consultation. Let's have a call. Ask me some questions. Let's get to the root of your pain so that you can let it go, because this is how we move forward. I'm Monique Derwin. I am the Integrative Mind Body Coach, and I teach people how to self-heal. And I'm giving you an open invitation to my world. So enjoy my resources. Let's have a conversation. Let's be friends and connect. If you're suffering, I can help you. Bye-bye.